Hello, students. My name's Scott Fallstrom, and I'm going to be your teacher in Math 103 this term. A couple quick things. I thought it would be nice to just take a little bit of a tour over our course. We're using Canvas, and depending on where you're from, I know we've got a couple people from the Midwest and the East Coast, and I think we've got some people from outside the country, but this summer is a little bit different than most of the time. We tend to get students who are just from Southern California. Most of California community colleges have switched over to use Canvas. So if you're new to Canvas, I want to give you just a little bit of an update, kind of tell you what's available here. When you log in and go to the home page and click on the home page, you will see at the top any recent announcements. Again, right now I haven't posted any recent announcements, but when you do, you'll see the most recent 2 announcements at the top. Coming down, I've made a little bit of an image to kind of show you that I really think this course is all about, there's a lot of information going on. We're really taking kind of a journey, and at times it'll feel like we're kind of taking a winding journey. We're going to go past different graphs, different data types, and I really hope that the big piece here is that we kind of stick together. And so that's why I chose this graphic. I created it, and I think it really tells a story for us. Down at the bottom of the home page, I've put some links. I've got a little bit of my name, some quick pointers and tips. Please read over those. Put a link to the syllabus page, a link to the Zoom, because we will be meeting on Zoom this term. And I've also encouraged you to join the Math Learning Center Canvas site, as well as there's a link to stop by the Math Learning Center for tutoring support. So if you're getting stuck, of course you can meet with me, but at times you may want to meet with someone else, get a different perspective, a different way to view it, or maybe the times just work out better for you. So please take advantage of these as resources and support for you as a student. There are other support features available by clicking on the Global Navigation menu, Student Support. If you click on Student Support on the side, you'll come down and see a number of other options. So if you're new to MiraCosta, all of these pieces are available to you. Now there's one that might be important, and you do have to sign a consent agreement when you come in with it. But down at the bottom, once you click your login, make sure you choose the MiraCosta College login, and there's a student help desk. And if you have technology questions, you can actually chat with the help desk right down at the bottom. There's a STEM Math Learning Center and Tutoring Online box. If you click there, there's a few other options for how you can get additional tutoring outside of the hours of the Math Learning Center. You can make appointments at the Math Learning Center. Again, add that Canvas course. I'm encouraging you. Might even throw some extra credit. You might want to do it. And then there's also other options, eTutoring Consortium and NetTutor. Let's go back to our course. Now in our course, again, anytime you need to, you can click the home button, go back to the very top. At the very bottom of this page, I'm going to post the video I'm making right now. And then when you're ready, you can click Get Started. Now Get Started moves you right into the modules. And so I'd like you to read through these. In a sense, modules are like kind of the course textbook. If you noticed, I didn't ask you to buy a book. I didn't ask you to buy a software package. It's the first time I've taught using these materials because I really want you to have a chance to learn without having that cost as the barrier. So we're going to give it a shot, and I hope you give me good feedback, things that you think could be better or need to be changed, but I think it's a pretty good setup. When you finish a particular page, there's a box at the top that says Mark as Done. Okay. So as you scroll down, I'll ask you to read things, and then the way Canvas works, you read things, and then when you're ready, you click this little Next button. Now Next will take you to the next portion as you move through. So Canvas is set up as either like pages and quizzes and assignments, and you can just really move through by clicking that Next button. So let me go back to the home screen. Every time you click the Get Started, it takes you to the same place. So there might be a time where you want to jump in and just get back to work with where you were. And that button on the side is known as Modules. Now you can think of modules as like portions of a book, chapters of a book, something like that. I've tried to group things in modules to make it easier for you to find things. So on the side, you'll notice the first module is Getting Started. In Getting Started, if you notice, there's one box that you can click on and the others are grayed out. And the reason for that is I want you moving through things in order. In the past, I haven't required this, and students as they moved through, well, they'd kind of skip around to whatever they felt they wanted, and what happened is at the end, they weren't able to see the big picture, they weren't able to put the pieces together, and the grades suffered. So I don't want to have that happen to you, so I've tried to restrict it a little bit and kind of, in a sense, force you to go through and at least look at the material that's available. Okay? So as you move through, once you mark a particular page as being done, the next page opens up and you're ready to go. I've put a Google survey and embedded it here, so I do want to get some information about you. It helps me as your teacher to know a little bit about you. And it kind of helps everybody else as well. As we'll see, there's also an introduction portion. So I've given some tips, I've got some FAQs, and then I'm giving you some sample very early on in the term, just getting used to how Canvas works. They are worth points. Why not get a good, start off with an A and just do some sample pieces to kind of see how they work. Okay? And because it's me, I threw in an extra credit opportunity. And the more you know about me, the more you'll know I don't mind at all throwing extra credit out there if you're willing to do a little extra work. The next module is called the Syllabus. I want you to read the syllabus and then kind of move through those pieces. Okay, I am going to have you watch a few TED Talks. In this case, I'm going to choose some TED Talks related to statistics that I think are fantastic and might even motivate you to kind of understand why we're doing this. Why are we taking a statistics course? Right? Anytime you are kind of finished with one of these modules, you can click the little down arrow and it'll shorten it up for you. Once we're done with that, we will move into Module 1 and then we'll kind of work our way through. So there are modules for each step of the way. At times they look long, but remember, this is kind of replacing that textbook. So if you were to take that whole textbook and maybe it's 1,000 pages long, we're condensing that down quite a bit and putting it in chunked blocks. So yes, we want you to move through it in order, but it's not going to be overwhelming. All right. As you go through, you'll notice little symbols on the side. This is how Canvas operates. At times, you'll see a little rocket ship. That's what we would call a quiz. You'll see the little thing that looks like a page. So that's their page icon. You might see something that looks like two little chat boxes. That's a discussion board. And the last one is an assignment. It looks like a pencil on paper. So that's how Canvas works, and that's how this course works. So what I'm going to ask you to do is within the first day, because this is a requirement in the state of California, is I have to see participation. It's not enough to just log in. It's not enough. You have to do something. So I'm going to ask you to do some of this within the first day. You'll have a couple days over the weekend if you want to get a jump on it, but I'd like you to get started so that you don't fall behind and so you also understand what kind of expectations we have for this course. I think it's going to be a great time this term. I really do plan on using the Zoom room as a chance to get to know you and for you to get to know each other. We're going to have different group activities throughout the time that we're actually in Zoom. So it's not going to be me just sitting there talking the whole time. That is not going to be a good experience for anybody. So I really hope that you'll come prepared. That does mean the more that you kind of work and stay on track, the easier those in-class times are going to be. A couple more quick pieces about the way that Canvas works. There is a tab on the side for grades. You can always check that at any time. And there's another link on the side for the syllabus. If you click on that syllabus piece, I wanted to show you what this does. The syllabus takes you to our actual syllabus, and you can click the down arrow if you wanted to preview the syllabus in this inside the window in Canvas. I put some important pieces down here about the Zoom room. Make sure when you sign into the waiting room, change your name if you need to match what's on the roster. And you can rename yourself if needed to match the roster. So sometimes it might look different. Maybe your brother or sister or your dad was using Zoom last and the name is different. So you can rename yourself as you come in there. Just make it match what's on the syllabus. I put a couple little pieces down here how to change your preferred name. So if you don't like the name that's on the syllabus and you go by a different name, I'm telling you how to change it and it will officially show up on my syllabus. I think we already had one in another class. There was a Thomas who preferred to go by Tommy. Perfect! What a great opportunity! Change the name in Surf so that it matches what you'd prefer to be called. There's also an online orientation schedule. If you're new to online, please take advantage of that. Please. It's so important for your success to understand how online courses work. And I put a link to student services at MiraCosta. If you click on that, you'll see a lot of different things that MiraCosta provides to our students as a way to help you as you go through the term. So as we go later on in the course, you'll actually see down here this course summary. You'll see a lot of assignments as they come, and they'll have due dates popping up. Due dates are going to show up on the calendar. And if you go back to the home page, which a lot of students do, they'll jump to the home page. Over here on the right, there will be a little box of what to do. So let me briefly jump into my other course that has already been opened. So this is my other course that I'm teaching this summer. It's called Math 102, Math for Life, which is also a really awesome class. But on the right-hand side, what you can notice is it says to do. So for me as the teacher, I need to grade some discussion boards and I need to grade some homework. Some people have turned it in. But what you'll see underneath is you'll see what's coming up. Here's what's coming up. If I was a student, I could look and see, hey, here's all the things that I need to do. Once you've done it, it disappears from that list. So you can always know what's coming up. You could also view it in the calendar form if you prefer, and there's a calendar icon on the left. And if you take a look at that, you'll be able to see exactly what pieces are due on which day of the week as we begin a course. You can add courses here. So right now that course is active. I could add other courses if I wanted to. Or you could remove some if it's really not that big of a deal for you. Okay. All right. So that helps. You've got homepage, syllabus, modules, and then your grades are here. Now one last piece that I want to be very clear about. At times there will be assignments for you to do, but remember, I'm requiring you to read through pieces of information before you take that assessment, before you take the knowledge check. So if you try to jump right into assignments and try to click on one of them, you might become frustrated because it won't let you in. The reason it won't let you in is you have to complete the pieces before you can jump in. So do not wait until 10 minutes before something is due to just start, because you're going to have to go through the content first. Okay? So I'm looking forward to it, and I really hope you are too, and I'll see you shortly. All right, off you go.